I wonder how many Event Horizon and Expanse references I can make in this video. One way to find out. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope that you're having a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being here. Today I am bringing you my album review of Rush's A Farewell to Kings. This would be their 5th studio album, which was released in 1977. And of course, if you'd like, I will put a playlist down below where you can go and watch all of my first listens and initial reactions to each of the songs on the album. But as always, and without further ado, let's go. In their 5th album, the band nails their niche of progressive hard rock, but this time with their horizons widely broadened, a wealth of experience, and a desire to learn and experiment. You know, the definition of progressive. From castle walls to black holes, Rush expands not only their writing, but also their sound with the additions of unique percussion, synthesizers, new guitars. It all comes together with stimulating effect, and there's a clear and precise growth to the band. They had proved themselves, and of course their naysayers, with their previous album 2112, but now here they are confidently laying the cornerstone of the kingdom that would eventually become their music, their catalog. This was Rush's coronation. The album opens with A Farewell to Kings with some medieval melodies, of course Care of Lifeson, whose expressive tones and haptive textures I still think are extremely undervalued and underrated. But, you know, that's a discussion for another time. It doesn't take very long for Lee and Peart to burst forward, balancing the heavy power with bouncy and addictive rhythms. The band clearly thrives in this particular space, and they are absolutely very comfortable in the energy that they've grown and founded since their previous albums. Lee especially sings with a lot of heart and care. The vibrato in his higher range always hair-raising. The deep bass plucks of the break, the raving drumming, and a dissonant turned eloquent solo is succinct and satisfying. This song is not only a great opener for the album, but it's a fantastic representation of who Rush were at this point. Peart's mystical array of percussion and artifacts, the winding and exciting journey and the story, and the ability for the band to bring these legends and myths to life makes Xanadu one of my favorite Rush songs ever. Like, it wasn't even a thought. It is easily in my top, maybe 3? The intro is hypnotic. Alex's control is astonishing with the guitar, tensing and releasing the notes with grace. The dynamics are also worth noting because as we move from otherworldly atmospheres into tasty grooves, from rapturous and thunderous batterings, synthesizers add a unique flavoring throughout, guiding the band into a direction that we haven't quite heard from them before. It's easily one of Rush's most well-developed tracks, filled with everything that I would want and I would expect from the band. It will truly remain immortal. The song was also apparently recorded in one take. Like, what? Charming guitar and heart-rending vocals open up closer to the heart, moving swiftly into a heated drive and burning guitar solos. While this track had gained Rush their first hit single in the UK, became a fan favorite, and became a regular part of the setlist, I gotta admit that it's actually my least favorite on the album. There's nothing that's inherently bad about it or distasteful. It just feels kind of average, standing kind of level amongst their giant catalog and the rest of the songs on the album. Now let's be real, an average song from Rush is still a masterpiece to most other bands. But nonetheless, it does stick out to me as something just a little lesser. And I can't help that every time Closer to the Heart is sung 15 times, it begins to grate after a little bit. Cinderella Man. Now this is the song to which the glass slipper belongs. This is the one that should have been a hit. It's progressively bouncy, exciting structure changes, and it's inherently catchy as well. Lee and Peart's bass and drum combo in the revving up of the verse is constantly fun and it's thrilling. The break has a tasty exchange in it as Lee grooves and moves, Alex writhes and lashes out with venomous aggression, and then of course you always have the unparalleled drumming of Peart behind it. The narrative is also well written based on the film Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, the story of a rich man with a good heart whose reputation and character was nearly tarnished by those who were jealous and who misunderstood him. Madrigal is a sweet little love song sung over fretless bass and dreaming melodies. It's the shortest piece on the album, but it really does make a lasting impact with its ethereal nature and the surrounding gentleness. It's like being enveloped in a parent's embrace. An extremely satisfying and much needed piece on the album as well. It's kind of like a drop of sweet creamer before engaging in a very darkly roasted brew coming up soon. Out of the cold and distant whispers of space, a transmission echoes, propulsive bass slowly rising, an interplanetary progression of interstellar inertia. The trio takes us over and through an event horizon, and where we're going, we don't need eyes to see. Rush commandeers the Rossi, and they travel past the expanse in this Titanus track. The guitar leads that lift off, the meticulous drumming, the music to match the narrative. This is easily one of the best epics in progressive music. The satellite-like ringing in the quiet winds of the break nicely recall the intro, while introducing some newfound power. The ending belt of pain and anguish from Lee is shocking, it's pervasive, it makes us feel the exact same type of pain that he's describing, making us feel every atom split, every nerve torn, as he enters through this dark portal to some unknown destination. Just because the ending is seemingly bleak doesn't mean that it's the end of the story. And of course, in their follow-up album, we will find out exactly what happens. So, want to take a ride? Those are just a few of my thoughts on each of the tracks in this album, but now let's get into my favorite moments, my favorite lyrics, and my song rankings for each of the tracks here. So my favorite moments is actually the instrumental break in Cygnus. I just really like the slow build-up. The riffs that come in are really, really exhilarating. And the payoff in the ending is overwhelmingly impressive. Like I said, the way that Lee rips into it at the end is possibly one of his most powerful vocal moments that I've heard. My favorite lyrics are the opening to the album, the opening to A Farewell to Kings. When they turn the pages of history, when these days have passed long ago, will they read of us with sadness for the seeds that we let grow? I just really like the thought that's put into those lyrics. You know, as someone in a position of power, will we plant seeds that eventually bloom into something fruitful and that people will look back upon fondly? Or will we let our actions grow into something that will disturb the echoes of history and people will look back upon, looking at us with regret? Those are great lyrics. Also, my other favorite lyrics on the album are from Cygnus, and they are as follows. I had to choose two. All who dare to cross her course are swallowed by her fearsome force, through the void to be destroyed, or is there something more? Atomized at the core, or through the astral door to soar. I just like the sheer determination at the end of that line. After all the risk that's possibly involved, after the risk of maybe not coming back on this journey, the ending resolve to soar. That's awesome. And then my song rankings for the album are as follows. Xanadu, A Farewell to Kings, Cinderella Man, Madrigal, Cygnus X-1, Closer to the Heart. Thank you guys so much for watching this album review. Hope that you enjoyed it. This was a fantastic album. The first four songs, or I'm sorry, the top five songs, those are like, I love those songs. Closer to the Heart, it remains a little further apart from my heart, but that's okay. It's just a start. Thank you for being here. Hope that you enjoyed the video. Of course, if you did enjoy the video, you can like, share, and subscribe. You can join me on Twitter, on Patreon. You can buy a shirt. Those are below. Hope that you have a great day. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you come back tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Bye.